We have some breaking news here on the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham, filling in for Matthew Peterson. He is across the pond in London on a much-earned vacation. You guys will hear from him in a few minutes, though, as he gave his 2 cents on the hiring of Vance Joseph. He returns to Denver as this team's defensive coordinator after serving as head coach a few years ago, which, maybe that's awkward, maybe it's not, but it's new ownership, new GM. Obviously, he's working under Sean Payton now, so I think enough time has passed. And look, let's be honest, he would not have taken this job had he not been comfortable with the circumstances. Peter Schrager broke the news first, saying that the Broncos are hiring Vance Joseph per source as Denver finds their man on the defensive side of the ball. And, I know there's been some chatter of, it's taken a little while for Sean Payton to put this staff together, but I actually do like the hire of Vance Joseph. I think he's a quality coach. Maybe he wasn't the best head coach, but to run the defense, I think he'll do just fine. What is your one-word reaction to Denver hiring Vance Joseph as defensive coordinator? Let me know in the comments. Maybe it's a little bizarre, but I think overall it's a good hire. Give us your one-word reaction down below. And this is why you subscribe to the channel, because even though Matthew Peterson is out of town, we're still bringing you guys the latest news and rumors. He also has a bunch of videos going out while he's gone, so you guys will be caught up on the latest surrounding this football team. So hit that sub button, turn on your notifications so you never miss a video. And also, another reason you subscribe is because even though he's not here in the studio, he's still filming live on the streets in London. Take it away, Petey, as you guys hear his breakdown of this hire.
What's going on, everyone? I'm doing a quick video because I'm in London on vacation right now, but my girlfriend was purse shopping and I'd rather blow my brains out. So let's talk Vance Joseph for 60 seconds. Coming back to Denver. Hopefully Sergio Dip is there game one. I'm holding out hope on that. But Vance Joseph coming over, I'm kind of milk warm on it, right? Like milk toast, whatever. Like, he was okay in Arizona. Never had much to work with the Cardinals. They had some first-round picks on the defensive side. He got them better than when he started. Last year was a bit of a disaster for the whole team, but Vance Joseph coming back home. It's no Rex Ryan. I honestly wasn't crazy about any of the defensive coordinator candidates, but I do trust Sean Payton, so I'll be a bit of a sheep and believe whatever direction he's going. And I know there's some doubters out there right now because it's taken a while to put together his staff, but Rex Ryan's coming home, so I'm going to turn it back over to Harrison and the rest of the Chat Sports crew. I'll see you guys later.
Obviously, Petey meant Vance Joseph there at the end, like he alluded to earlier in the video. But tweet at Petey, and you can type LOL for him saying Rex at the end. But he'll see your tweets at Matthew Petey. Give him your takes on the hire of Vance Joseph, and just go bug Petey because the day after he leaves, the Broncos make a hire, which is pretty on brand for us here at Chat Sports. So let's talk a little bit more about this hire as Vance Joseph does return. And it is interesting, right? You don't see this often in professional sports where someone who served as a team's head coach got fired, and then not that long later, 4, 5, 6 years later, returns as a coordinator. But I do think this is a unique situation, like I said earlier, that it is different ownership. Enough time has passed, different GM, so he's working under different folks. And I'll just mention this as well. Josina Anderson reports that Philadelphia had interest in him, and that interview went well also. So I don't think it was like he was going to lack options. I think he wanted to come to Denver, and for the Broncos, if he was their guy, that ultimately is a good thing that they were able to secure him over a different team, especially the Eagles, a team who was just playing in the Super Bowl. Now, you look at his tenure in Arizona, kind of a mixed bag, right? I'm not going to hold 2022 too much against the guy. That team just fell apart. I think Cliff Kingsbury lost the locker room a bit. Once Kyler Murray got hurt, the offense was terrible. And, when you're not moving the ball offensively, your defense is on the field more. You're going to give up more points. 2020, 2021, I thought he did some nice work there. And Arizona doesn't exactly have loaded talent on defense. So I still think that Vance Joseph is a quality coach. Now, obviously, things did not work out when he was head coach in Denver. Only got 2 seasons, went 5-11 and 6-10 in 2017 and in 2018. I do think he's a good coordinator, so I'm intrigued to see how he does in that role this year. And he certainly has a lot more to work with in Denver than he did in Arizona defensively. The Broncos defense were actually really good this past season, and these numbers would have been better had Russell Wilson in the offense not gone 3 and out a ton, turned the ball over a ton either. I mean, top half of the league in points allowed, top 10 in yards allowed, 12th in passing yards allowed, 10th in rushing yards allowed, gave up or had 36 sacks. I think that's an area they'd like to improve, get that pass rush going. Obviously, never really properly replaced Von Miller, but I think this is a defense that has the tools to be a top 10 unit in the league. I mean, potentially even top 5. I know you're in a tough division, having to face Patrick Mahomes twice a year, Justin Herbert twice a year, potentially a good Raiders offense as well. But if this defense can be top 10 in the league, and if Sean Payton does his part and gets Russell Wilson back on track, there's no reason why this team can't be a playoff team like the expectations were a year ago, and obviously things did not work out under Nathaniel Hackett. Now, what is your confidence level in the Broncos defense this next season? Scale of 1 to 10. I'd give it a solid 7.5 or 8. The personnel is there. I'd like to see them add a pass rusher in free agency. We'll see what happens with Draymond Jones, who's set to be a free agent. Maybe he's a franchise tag candidate. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what your confidence level is in the Broncos defense next season. We'll bring on producer Sam Brown now. And for you OG Broncos Breakdown subscribers, you might remember Sam actually was the original host of this channel and then moved on to other things within the company, more of an executive and lead producer type of role. But Sam is a Broncos fan. So, Sam, give us your take on how this is all played out as Vance Joseph is back in Denver.
Yeah, despite a rough season, I've stuck around, and I think we're starting to see the fruits of our labor here as Broncos fans, having to sit through that miserable season. Vance Joseph, a guy that I think maybe never really got the fairest shake whenever he was head coach at Denver. I personally was of the mindset of wanting to give him one more year. He only lasted 2 seasons, but you look at what he was working with. I mean, his quarterbacks alone, he worked with 10 games of Trevor Siemian, almost half a season of Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum for almost a full season as the starting quarterback.
I forgot. That's when they signed Keenum after his tenure in Minnesota, and they thought he was the answer, and that was not the case. That
was supposed to be the big move. That was basically the best quarterback that he got, was an average quarterback and maybe high-end backup. I personally thought Vance Joseph never got the fair shake around here, and I'm glad that he's back around, and I'm glad that he's willing to come back because, like you said, Harrison, I think that just means that with new ownership, new GM, it sounds like maybe him and John Elway hopefully were on good terms on the way out to where he can seamlessly come back into this role.
Now, will Sergio Dip be in the building for week 1, and will Rex Ryan be in the booth? I think both of those are requirements for this week 1 game, whoever they end up facing.
I'm very excited for the potential Sergio Dip return. We've been talking in the office. The notifications are turned on today in case Sergio Dip wants to share his thoughts about the hire. But this is, I think, of the candidates that were out there, I personally preferred Vance Joseph over like a Rex Ryan or somebody like that, who's been out of the league for really 4 or 5 years now. Vance Joseph's been around. Granted, that defense in Arizona wasn't great this year, but they were injured. The team fell apart, like you said. I personally like the hire, and I'm excited to see where they go here.
Yeah, obviously a big year coming up for Denver. New head coach, new defensive coordinator, new ownership, big year for Russell Wilson. So the expectations are high, and they become higher when you bring in Sean Payton to lead the ship. And obviously he's putting his trust in Vance Joseph to run his defense. So Vance Joseph coming back to Denver, this time to run solely the defense. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button like we said. If more breaking news drops while PD is gone, we'll have it covered. He's got a bunch of videos scheduled out for you guys to keep you guys entertained while he is on vacation. So have no fear. We have you covered here on The Breakdown. So subscribe, turn on those notifications. We'll see you soon here on the channel.